It's the last dance in Dublin for Murray, Healy and Peter O'Mahony. How will that affect Irish selection? Hello amateurs, welcome back to our Six Nations series, here with you till the end of the championship and beyond. So hit subscribe down below to make sure you don't miss out on any future episodes. Now Ireland, off the back of a scrappy kind of workmanlike win against Wales, but very well deserved. Obviously, myself and Elko went through that in great detail. I'll link that up there for you, so go and check that one out if you haven't already. But Ireland, 3 from 3, going into this massive game against France. It's the game that everybody, I think, earmarked before the start of the championship as being the absolutely critical one. It's going to decide the championship almost certainly, or certainly go a long way towards it. France need to win. Ireland definitely want to win as well to keep that Grand Slam hope alive and head towards a third consecutive championship, which has never been done before. Huge, absolutely huge. Okay, so let's talk about this Irish squad. And as I mentioned in the intro, they're announcing their international retirement. 3 absolute legends of the game, not just Irish rugby, the entire game. Peter O'Mahony, Conor Murray and Cian Healy, all retiring from Irish national duty at the end of this championship. And as such, this will be their last day out in Dublin. And what great timing, I think, for them to announce it last week, during that fallow week, get it done, out of the way, and then build towards this huge game without some distractions. They can really focus on the game after kind of the emotional side of those announcements last week. Also this week, Mac Hansen has been given an Irish national contract, and there's a lot of news in the Irish press at the moment about how many of these contracts are with Leinster players and so few with all the other regions. And Big Joe McCarthy also got one from Leinster this week as well, which I think is what has really exacerbated that situation. Huge week for Irish rugby, and it seems like there's a little bit of infighting going on around these contracts, these national contracts. More news around the squad. And if they play, it will be 50 caps up for Finlay Bealham and Jack Conan this week. The squad as a whole has got some new players in it to, I think, just for training, really, judging by who they are. Max Deegan, Darren Murray, Tommy O'Brien and Tom O'Toole, all in with the squad this week. Out, though, Gary Ringrose, as suspected, suspended. But again, with a little bit of controversy around it, he'll be back in time for Italy next week. But that centre rotation will stop here for the Irish. Hopeful. Okay, so injury updates now. And Ireland have said that they're hopeful about Caelan Doris and Jack Conan. And then they've just been a little bit more woolly about Ty Furlong and Ronan Kelleher with some sort of updates coming throughout this week. So I'm going to suggest that maybe Doris and Conan are likely to be fit and Furlong and Kelleher are likely not to be fit. Of course, still some time to go before selection's announced, and that can easily change. I wanted the Irish to be merciless against Wales last time out. And, well, the game just didn't really go that way. Wales turned up and played a brilliant game, really got their game on the pitch, and Ireland had to fight for every inch. They played some good rugby at times, but it was scrappy at times, made some errors, but then just stuck in it, really nailed the game management and saw it out towards the end. So fair play to them for gritting that one out, winning a game in a different way than we've seen so far this championship. Okay, let's get on to the players I think that are going to get selected this week. And we start with the forwards. And as always, I think, again, Ireland have been so consistent, and I think they'll continue to be. I think Joe McCarthy came back in last time out and had a good game, especially for a first game back for a little while. So I think he keeps his place in the second row ahead of James Ryan. I think Bealham comes back in. He's played really well this championship. And I think a lot of people are sort of pushing him as a potential Lions starter if he continues this form, certainly a tourist. So he certainly comes back in alongside Porter and Sheehan for me. Then the big choice is really what to do with the number 6 jersey. We've seen Ryan Baird, we've seen Peter O'Mahony. Jack Conan's done amazingly well off the bench and starting at number 8 last time out. But if Doris is fit, he will play, no question. And I think it's a real tough call, because you could argue in any one of their favours, depending on what you want. Do you want somebody to go out there, be snarling, gritty, get really stuck into the French, disrupt them, get after Dupont? If that's the case, then you go Omani. Do you want somebody, because it's potentially could be a really fast open game if the French get it their way in that respect, then Baird maybe would be the better option? Or do you want kind of somebody that's a bit more of an all-rounder? And then you go for Conan, and his levels have been so high this championship that I just think he's been the best player out of the three. So we go with him, get him on the pitch at the start and let him do his stuff. On to the backs, and very few choices to be made here, really. I think the Ireland back line, now with no Ringrose there, Aki and Henshaw in the centres, Keenan comes back in at fullback, Lowen Hansen on the wings. Yeah, it's all pretty straightforward, I think, in terms of the backs. I didn't really have any question marks here whatsoever. No thoughts about bringing anybody else in or anything like that. So the bench, however, is a little bit different. So we've got Gus McCarthy continuing at hooker in the absence of Kelleher. Healy there, his last dance, along with Murray and Omani on the bench as well, all to come on for a great final hurrah and you know, as far as they're concerned, beat the French and keep on the way towards a Grand Slam. Tom Clarkson continues at tight head, and I've gone for 6-2. I think this was the big decision that needed to be made. France are going to be 6-2, I'm sure. If not 7-1, I can't see them going 7-1, but I'm sure they'll be at least 6-2. So I think Ireland need to match that. I really do. Go with Ryan, go with Omani and Baird as well, with Murray and Crowley on the bench to cover the backs, which I think they can do between them. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Can this Irish team beat what is sure to be a very fired up French team? It feels a little bit like both these teams have almost not been waiting for this fixture, but they knew it was coming. Right? And even if you prepare meticulously and you're professional and you do all the things, it's still in there somewhere. It's still in the back of your mind. And I think maybe that played into a slightly below par outing for Ireland last time. And I think the French just threw caution to the wind against the Italians and tore them to pieces. So what do we want to see from this Ireland team? I want to see them go out and play. They're an all-court team, Ireland. They can do it all, really. But what do we want to see? We want to see them keep the ball in hand. We want to see them get through a ton of phases, because I think that's how you wear out this French side. And you don't want France to have the ball. So it's better that you have it. So either kick really long to them, get them to kick it back, because they will, or keep the ball in the middle third and make them make a ton of tackles, try and get on the right side of the penalty count, and then do what the Irish do so well, just exert pressure after pressure after pressure, suffocating the French out of this game. Because you know that if they get a glimpse, and we've seen it all the time, if they get just a sniff, then they can be away and cause teams absolute carnage. Alrighty, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think this is the team that Easterby is going to pick to play against France this weekend? Any players that I've missed out that you think will be key in this fixture? We'll be doing a big match preview later in the week with Elko, so we'll go into loads more detail then. But let's have in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up while you're down there. If you don't mind, it helps other people find it, and you can subscribe there. You can watch that one next. Don't forget to get out and play.